Hey guys, it's me, Casey, and today I have on the platform with me Brianna Squire. Hi, Brianna.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us. Today we're going to actually talk about what we got upcoming holidays, and in our upcoming holidays, excuse me, I think my dog has found somebody at the door. But with this pandemic and everything going on, we are all kind of iffy about our gathering, our family gatherings. In fact, they're actually putting out warnings and asking us basically not to travel, not to go visit our families, and if you are going to have family, you know, togetherness, to kind of cut it short. So I wanted to kind of bring that to the attention because a lot of people are hesitant. A lot of people are saying, I'm going to go regardless. And we just wanted to kind of touch bases on that. So, Brianna, what do you think about what the pandemic is doing regarding the holidays?
Um, well, I mean, we all have to take precautions. I understand some people who don't necessarily want to stop living their lives the
Right.
pandemic because it doesn't seem to be going away anytime soon. So, with that being said, they're like, well, if I live safely, but if I wear my mask back and forth outside and or take the proper precautions like washing their hands, then they're less likely to get it. So they're willing, excuse me, to risk going to see their family. Now, the only issue about that is if you have any family with any pre-existing illnesses that you may infect, because the way that COVID spreads the most is due to those who are asymptomatic. So that's the
Mhm.
real problem.
Right. And, I was reading an article earlier today in regards to I think it was it Spanish flu, the 1918 pandemic that somewhat is similar to what we're going through. And in that article, they were saying pretty much everything that we're going through. People boycotting the masks, people wanting their businesses, the economy, all of the same things that we're going through, which basically identifies this is not something new. It's just a new virus, but the precautions and everything has been set previously, and evidently at some point in time it actually worked. But during that time, the article was identifying how a lot of people disobeyed the request of not visiting their families, and it kind of hit hard the next day. Hospitals was overwhelmed with people that were sick, and like you said, the majority of the people passing the virus is asymptomatic. So they don't even have the symptoms of what the CDC's is identifying, the coughs, the sneezes, the fevers. They're walking around as if nothing is happening, but they're passing it on to other people. And it was the article was very interesting because it identified something that I don't think a lot of people are not taking into consideration, which is the healthcare workers. We want to see our families, but they have been working nonstop in the healthcare field since this virus came about. And, even when they want to spend time with their families, we're actually preventing them from spending time with their families by wanting to spend time with our families. So I kind of think that's kind of messed up.
Well, you can say that humans are inherently selfish.
Right.
We like our own survival, we like our own comfort, and sometimes if it sacrifices someone else's comfort for us to be comfortable, we're okay with it. But that's where the whole empathy comes into place, where we need to take in consideration and put ourselves in other people's perspectives. Um, but yeah, no, just how you were saying you read an article. I actually recently read an article where it's a hundred symptoms of COVID. There's
Oh,
there's over 100 symptoms, and not necessarily people are going to have them at once. So usually the asymptomatic ones, you may not lose your sense of smell or your sense of taste. You may not have a fever. You may not cough, but you may have back pain. You may have migraines because apparently that's a symptom. You can develop a pink eye, and that is also a symptom of COVID. So, though your symptoms or anything may be minor or non noticeable or connected to another disease, you could still be carrying COVID, which could be deadly to someone else. So, we just got to remain aware. It's already past that point where you're supposed to quarantine yourself if you wanted to visit family. So, unfortunately, those, if you're here now and you're thinking, should I go home for Thanksgiving? The answer is no. Unfortunately, you missed your spot. You can
Right.
still test for COVID, but it's also showed that it incubates in your body, which means it takes a couple of days, even as far as a week, to actually show a positive test. So you got to be extremely careful when it comes to COVID.
You know, what shocked me was I was watching the news the other day, and as they were saying, please don't travel, please don't go visit, the news was at the airport, and it was as if there was no virus, there was no pandemic. And when I tell you, that was, um, it to me, I was like, I get it. I honestly get it. I have family. We really are here in Virginia. We don't have family here. And around this time of the year, we either go to North Carolina, where my father resides, or we, conjure up a lot of our family and friends here, and we have our celebration. I myself, um, we decided we're going to have a small gathering. I guess basically the people that live in our home, we're just gonna cook, and we're gonna cook smaller portions of it. But we have been invited to Zoom family family gatherings, which is so cool in a way because you still get to see your family and you still get to interact with them. But they're just not in the same household. We wouldn't be able to hug them anyway because of the virus. I mean, even if you're going to visit, I do think people are taking that precaution of not like hugging or touching or literally being in each other's faces. So besides the Zoom, what other ideas do you think would be like helpful for family gatherings outside of the norm?
Well, a suggestion that I've been seeing a lot is that if you want to be near your family or do activities together, of course, Zoom is the way to go. You can also send each other gifts,
Mhm.
surprise each other, the whole sharing the flowers while they're here. And while Zoom is there's Skype, there's phone calls, there's other things that's for you not to have to be there. We're not with family majority of the year if you live apart. I live with my family. So, but like if you lived apart like I did when I was in school, I unfortunately didn't have the opportunity to come home during holidays. However, so I actually am accustomed to the zooming family phone calls and like playing games over the phone, and stuff like that. It's this year that's actually going to be new to me with the spending the time with the family. So I just thought that was kind of ironic. But no, things again, there we have a family game night. We literally have all these type of different card games that we can play online. My family's a big fan of Family Feud that we create, or Jeopardy games that me and my little brother create. And were virtual anyways, so it's kind of easier for us to adjust. But for those who are getting into it, I recommend building those online games that you're capable of FaceTiming your family or playing during the Zoom chat. And I believe you have some games or card games that you're capable of playing through Zoom.
Yeah, I let me see. Do I have them? There's a lot of actual games that, and I know it's probably too late because people, I guess this week is Thanksgiving, but for the upcoming holidays, there's one game that I have where it's like I'm trying to see if I have it over here. It's a card game actually where it's verses of a song, like the middle of the song where if you started off in the middle of the song, you really don't know the words of the song. And it's like musical chairs because basically you say that as part of the song, try to sing it, but everybody don't have that beautiful voice like we do. Everybody was what are you smiling? Laughing at Brianna. Everybody don't have that beautiful voice. So it makes it even more fun because sometimes even like your generation and my generation are two different generations. So it's like I think it's the '90s musical R&B of the '90s. So we sing those in the middle and expect to see who knows the next line to the song. And I found that on Facebook. And once we finish today, I'll go ahead and put a link to that where I was able to locate those cards. But that was fun. And I think another game would be really cool is the scavenger hunt, Zoom scavenger hunt. And regarding that, I think, and I can't wait to play this one. I literally am a game fanatic. As she stated, our family is, we love games. But this one here is you create a list of things, and everybody get to do their own list. Put it like that. And you also identify who's on live with you, and basically you list things that people should have in their house, or even that they should as a challenge. And you give everybody a minute, such as, oh, okay, first thing on the list, a baby picture. You got 1 minute. Whoever comes back to their chair with the baby picture get points. And you keep playing like a list of maybe 10 to 20 things based on how many people are in the game. And literally, it's so much fun. You can say baby picture, picture of grandma, the biggest book, something blue, something pink, something green. Like, you can really be very creative with your own list. And you basically, everybody logs into Zoom, and whoever created the list, created the game, or however it may be, they go off of that, and everybody else go for it. They just go for it. Now, only thing that I have concerns with is because the older generation, outside of my generation, I think my generation is the generation that actually um, have a bit of both, without technology and with technology. But my father, God bless him, I love him to death. He he gets messages. He finally reads his messages months and months and probably a year ago, and then try to contact people back. So he's not really computer savvy and technology savvy. And so it would take someone of the younger generation to help those that are. And if they're not in the household, that's my biggest fear. Is like these older people are, in the homes and really can't. I would prefer my father not to visit, but if he does, if he does, then it. I would honestly, if he does, I honestly, would be more cautious around him, and those that are, around him or what have you, to help set up those things. But it's a little hard for those older ones. What do you think?
Well, not so much anymore. I've seen a lot of those who are of the older generation, or at least older than me. Everybody's older than me, but who have been mastering TikTok, and I am just amazed because I can't even get one of those little dances. Like,
I'm a
they mastered it faster than I can, and I am just amazed. They're just enjoying themselves, and I think they're more adaptable and learning faster than I guess people actually expect them to. So even though we may be like, come on, the mouse is right there, change, like click that, it's right there. That was the old us. Since this quarantine, I think they are the masters of technology and advancing and learning how to communicate with each other from a distance, because my generation has been communicating with each other through technology for a long time. So those who are used to the face-to-face interaction are the ones that it's like, they had to adapt a little bit more, and they're astonishing because well, I haven't seen my grandfather on TikTok yet, but but I have seen some grandmas and grandpas and moms and pops on TikTok, and they're rocking it. So I completely enjoy it. That's how I spend most of my time anyways.
See, and then I think that's also another beautiful thing with technology is because of those, it is bringing people out to be more youthful and stuff like that. And I have yet to see, but if I see my father on TikTok, or if anybody see my daddy on TikTok, please, 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 one, I'm sorry. Two, let me know, because then I'm gonna have to start looking into some more places, homes for my daddy. No, but I do think that the older generation, like you said, are more adaptable. But what can we do to help them when it comes down to Zoom and stuff like that? Because TikTok, I agree with you. TikTok is good. TikTok is awesome, but outside of cooking, because they were the ones that was cooking in the first place. So I'm sure they're going to be okay with the food. It's us who don't want to cook that have to cook now because we're not going to their homes. Um, but I do think everybody still need to cook around the same time, and maybe put Zoom on and have your family prayer around that time. It's a little thought. What do you think?
I do agree with the family prayer. Zoom is going to come very in need and handy when it comes to that. Um, But I also think Zoom is actually going to be coming in handy when people are cooking because, as you said, the generation that's not used to cooking
It's cooking.
is going to have to be like, so what was this recipe again? Does aluminum foil go there? Like, what the oven that turns on? So when it comes to that, we're going to be needing the help of our older generations to cooking these meals, or and for those who are with their family. And that cooking together, that bonding experience of cooking together for Thanksgiving, even if it's for the first time, because it is a way for us to interact with each other,
Right.
it's going to be pretty interesting.
You know, one thing that I can say about this pandemic, I mean, coming out something positive, is we are learning to connect more, have those conversations that was hidden previously. We are learning to put things in a better perspective, identifying that family is important, and family is important, not holidays. So if it comes down to identifying, if you got to choose when you want to see your family and you got technology, just look at them, online. It's difficult, it's different, but at least you get to see them alive and healthy. You know, I really do like that idea of cooking with your family through Zoom. The only thing is everybody making sure everybody got the right ingredients, because them older people, if you ain't got the right ingredients, you already messed up your meal. They not even gonna tell you no more. They probably even hang up on you. So I'm just saying. But yeah, I really like that. I didn't even think of that, Brianna. That was a really good one to cook online. I might have to do that with my dad, because he that's one thing about my father. He is an excellent, excellent cook. So we might, I'm good too, but it's nothing like your parents cooking.
Um, I've actually saw a commercial recently that it made me cry. I teared up a little bit. I admit it. Was an Amazon commercial about the sister who had a dance recital. She finally got the lead, and then COVID struck, and they had to cancel the recital even though she worked so hard. Like her feet and stuff was bruised and bloody and all that stuff. And her little sister like drew out some flyers to hang around to like all the neighbors, and then the neighbors who I guess lived on the top of the building or the apartment complex. They had their lights, and everybody just had their flashlights pointed on the like the rooftop. I'm sorry, excuse me, the rooftop of like the building next to them, and she performed it by herself with all the lights, and it seemed like it was a full on concert. That was gorgeous. I believe it was an Amazon commercial actually,
It,
but
it
that's actually
was.
where I get most of my ideas because Amazon and their commercials have been hitting it right now, because they know it's a struggle that people not with their families, and they know there's creative methods for you to do so that way you can still feel connected with your family. And with that being said, that actually made me think of the whole talent show, which is why I brought it up. You can have a talent show through Zoom.
Right. And we have such a talented family that that would probably be something that we honestly can do as well, because I honestly want to say I miss my family. We usually meet for Memorial Day. That's our holiday because we actually get to spend the time with our family, extended family, and close friends. And we wasn't able to do that this year. And because of that, and then COVID still stuck around, we kind of wasn't sure, but now we sure it's going to be around for a little bit. And we have been trying to kind of stay in contact with each other. And another thing that we have done that might be good for everyone else is we have a family private page where family can come together and share good, bad, need of advice, need of prayer. We share our pictures because everybody got phones that they're taking pictures of, and there's always that one picture that they find themselves to be the most gorgeous or handsome person, and they want to share it with their families. So that is a way of communicating too. We have to take advantage of technology. But yeah, I that commercial made me cry, Brianna. And I mean, I know I'm a big crybaby anyway. But yeah, we have to be very creative with what we have. Some of us are in apartment complex. Some of us have houses where you do have larger land that you can actually go out and probably have visitors over without so many people coming in contact. But we definitely have to take advantage of what we can do and not go against what they're asking us not to do, because it's serious. It's serious. And I think it was the Spanish flu, 600,000 people passed. And and that's worldwide. We are close to 300,000 here just in America, you know, and that's how serious it is. And as it gets colder, it's getting worse because we have flu season in the same time frame. So I do believe that I believe safety is better because you would want your family to be here in the next holidays. You don't want to go visit and feel that you're fine, they're fine, and everything's good, and the next thing somebody's sick. And the last thing that you definitely don't want is find out that you're responsible for someone passing in your family because of your selfishness, like you stated, of trying to be with your family for the holidays. It's a holiday, it's not every day. And the days that we can wake up and have more air in our lungs and be able to breathe, that's another day that's closer to another day for them to see you, hug you, and kiss on you. So we definitely have to take that into consideration. So I mean, what do you think? Anything else that we can actually do as far as you know, the holiday blues? One, this is a very time for depression, especially when you can't be around your family.
Well, you already know me about mental health. I'm an advocate. I am a spokesperson. I like to speak up. And especially when it comes to even my own mental health, I express it. I talk about it because I feel like me talking about my experience helps those in need recognize that they are in need of help.
Right.
Now, when it comes to this is actually, yes, you're absolutely correct, is around that time of seasonal depression. Plus, with the whole quarantine and people having to be by themselves, depression is on the rise. So is suicide. Please, if you know anybody, even if they're strong, determined, passionate, reach out to them and see if they're okay. Even if they just say fine, nope, skip that. You literally go and ask the questions like, really, how are you doing? Not to be forceful because you don't want to make people speak if they don't want to speak, but you got to show that it's more than just saying, oh yeah, no, I'm okay, I'm fine. Literally, how are you? How are you doing? How are you managing? How is life? How's the day-to-day tasks? How is it going without having to see your family, your loved ones, your friends, working from home? You're literally trapped between four walls. Humans are creatures. So we have to talk about that with our friends and family. Far and foremost, I think the main thing for that is to continue the communication, not blocking it off. You have to reach out to people. People you haven't talked in a while, reach out to them. You don't know what they're going through. There's a lot of evidence this year, 2020 alone, that we are never really sure or knowledgeable of what another person is going through or what's
Right.
going on inside their head or in their homes.
Right. You're
So
absolutely right. And that's also going to be additional information that we're going to put on the page because if you feel like you're going through something and you feel like you don't have anyone to talk to, we do have a mentorship, or even you can hit me up or anyone on the WOW page to help, just to talk it out, or whatever it is that you feel like you're going through, because you're not alone. And this is, like I said, this is some hard times for everybody. But there are some that are taking it a little harder because of whatever they have gone through previously. And everybody matters. Everybody matters. You was put here for a reason, and we need you here. We need you here. We need you to identify and help find that reason, because that big reason is not only to benefit you, it's to benefit those around you. You know, if we look at life, whew, it's hard, but we've succeeded 100% of everything that you've been through so far, and everything that you're going through, you can be successful in that part as well. So with the holiday thing and the depression and the family separation, I honestly wanted to ask, and how many family members is are they saying that you can actually have in a home at one time? Is it still like 6 to 10?
To be safe when you're indoors, I know in the state of Virginia, the maximum for outdoor is 25, and inside, I believe it's 10. I'm gonna have to, don't quote me on that. But yes, the safest bet is to still stay in groups that are 10 and smaller. I know with COVID running rampant and getting higher, they're taking these extra precautions, especially in the states where it's not as developing higher, due to the fact that we don't want to get to the point where we have to be on total lockdown once again. And then when the new incoming president comes in next year and whatever lockdowns or things that they enforce, I think we need to, as a unit, do that to get rid of this virus the best way we can. Um, because right now it doesn't seem like it's going away.
Right.
It's actually a little like it's part of the family now, and I hate it. It's the cousin you don't want.
We got the
So
V, we got the Ronas. We already renamed it so many different ways. Like, yeah, Rona coming over today. Oh, what? No, not that Rona.
no, no,
You know, so I mean, it's serious, but you have to use your humor in the process of it all, because that's what we got. That's what we can keep our mental state. Find some form of humor in whatever it is that we're going through, because this is a lot. This all happening during our election year. This is all happening. People are losing jobs. There's a lot of families that they can't travel because they most likely are losing their homes. They don't have the Thanksgiving meals that we are all blessed with. And that right there is also identifying the blessings that you have, but also the blessing that you could pass on. I'm not sure. I know we wanted to serve at a homeless shelter, but unfortunately, because of COVID,
they're
we
not
wasn't.
allowing any more volunteers sign up if you wasn't already signed up a month in advance, so that way you can show a negative test. So
Right.
unfortunately, those who want to serve on the day of Thanksgiving or volunteer the week of, there's no room, or at least in the state of Virginia, but there's no positions available for you to be able to do it. You can still always donate and buy for food banks. Um, that's still a big thing. There's still many other community things where people are giving away the food that they collect to the community. They're dropping it off at their doorsteps, after sanitizing it, whatever. So that way families can still have a decent meal for the holiday. There's
Right.
ways that we could help each other in the community. And I think it would be really cool if everybody got involved with that.
I agree. I think some grocery stores have it where you can buy a $5 box of food that they provide to families, which is another way of giving. And everybody's, like you said, everybody's being very creative with giving, and giving helps you feel better about yourself. So in the process of it all, guys, the give, check in, be creative with technology. If you don't know how to cook, contact Big Mama, contact Aaliyah, contact Grandma, Nana, Auntie, and get a Zoom. Ask them, what ingredients do I need? Get your ingredients and enjoy that moment, because a lot of times, because of things going so much, you don't even get the time to spend in the kitchen with your family. And if technology is the way to do it, uh,
And just like you said, when we need to find humor in things, you need to find the joys, even if the small joys in life. Like, I don't know, I was gonna say release a fart, but that's inappropriate. So like, no. I'm sorry. I, like when you watch a show or have the time to yourself to decompose. I have
yeah.
concerts in the shower. So those are my little joyous moments where I feel happy and I'm able to be myself. You got to find the joy in the small things at the moment. Um,
Right. And if you it's self-care. Self-care is I believe is number one. And if that means taking a nice long hot bath with a glass of wine, by any means do that. Anything with a glass of wine, by any means, do that.
okay.
But yeah, find the time to enjoy yourself, because we all deserve that. And when you take care of yourself and then you pay it forward, that's the best feeling in the world. And that's without being close with your family. So in the process of it all, guys, we are in this together. I would advise everyone to do what's best. I can't say I would personally say don't visit your elderly family members just for these holidays, because holidays is going to come and go. They may not, and as our incoming president says, you don't want to sit at a table with empty chairs. Everybody has a seat at the table, and we want to preserve those seats so that the next time when we are capable of hugging and being around our families, those seats are full, and we're not worrying or feeling self guilt because we were selfish enough to want to go visit our family members and utilize technology. So with that, guys, we're gonna go ahead and end it today. We thank you, and I'm not sure we're gonna be on next week or not. We'll probably take that weekend off just to reflect on what family we do have. And here's another thing: look at your pictures. Talk about the pictures. Bring the pictures up in the Zoom and say what happened here. What do you got on? Cause I got some pictures, some bell bottom pictures. My daddy and my aunts and uncles, they was looking like, they was part of the Jackson Five. So I'm gonna bring it to their attention and say what was going on. They was fashionable or not. But it's a good conversation piece to have. And also think about this. If we are doing everything through technology, we may not have those family squirrels that we always have every holiday. We don't have time for it.
I mean, are you saying because we can mute people?
That is true. That's exactly what I'm saying. That is exactly what I'm saying. So, uh, yes, that's what we're gonna do. So, with that being said, you guys, y'all have a blessed day and enjoy the holidays that you can make best for yourself and your family. And we'll see you hopefully, if not next week, the following weekend. Y'all have a blessed one.
Bye.